Roll the corn. We know the truth now. Peace to my beautiful people from this beautiful land. I love you, and I'm in love with you. Big dream creators, what up? Roll the corn. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Put where you're from and put the corn in the chat. Q, roll the corn. Daryl Harden, what's up, brother? Hit the like button, hit the share button, put where you're from, and put the corn in the chat. We know the truth now. Brigado La Ra. Daryl Harden, what up? Exceptional. Roll the corn. Detroit. Rello Beats, what up? Hit the like button, hit the share button. Now, exceptional, there's somebody else's list right here. This somebody else's list. I just was looking over it, right? This somebody else's list. This ain't my list right here. I don't want to promote that. I just thought it was interesting. Somebody posted this. But this is kind of the stuff I be studying, right? I be studying this stuff right here. And I'm not through. I'm gonna show y'all my list when I get through studying it, because this list is kind of, some of it is right, and I think some of it is wrong, but we're gonna get to the bottom of this. I just wanted to kind of show y'all the list people are putting out. But when I get my list together for my book, I'm gonna have receipts to go along with the tribe. They go along with the ancient tribes to the new tribes. But this is very interesting though. It's very, very interesting. Roll the corn. So I'm gonna do another one. Like, I just wanted to show y'all I'm gonna have something similar to this right here in my book. But I'm gonna have receipts to go along with it. Right? Because me personally, I think the Seminole is the tribe of Reuben. But on here it says Forgotten Gulf tribes, but it still could go together, right? Now, I have seen the tribe of Joseph in the islands. I have saw that. But this is at least our people are trying to get to the point to where we understand this stuff. And I saw somebody post this, and I wanted y'all to check it out. But I'm gonna go back through this again on my own time when I write it up, write my book up and stuff, and I'm gonna make sure these tribes match the exact name. Roll the corn. I love y'all. I'm in love with you. By my head to my people, man. Hope everybody out there doing well. Today, I'm gonna go through some Choctaw stuff in this old book. And it ends with what happened to Chief Tuscaloosa and different Indians in the Southeast, and kind of what was going on when the Soto came to America, right? So we're gonna start with some of the words the Choctaw was using, and it's gonna go into the real truth about Chief Tuscaloosa in Alabama. So y'all pay close attention. I'm gonna pull myself out of the screen so y'all can see the receipts and you can screenshot them, right? Roll the corn. I got you. Silverback, screenshot everything, bro. Screenshot everything. I want y'all to understand something, y'all. A lot of people like to, try to give receipts. Sometimes I be in the way because I be trying to teach too hard sometimes. But all these receipts I want to get to the people, bro. This is our history. I want to send it to everybody. If y'all want it, y'all hit me in my DM. I DM it to you, email it to you, text it to you, whatever we need. We got to get this stuff documented, right? So our receipts go out to the people. Every last one of them. That's a fact. Let's start here. Roll the corn. Now, the Choctaw tribe, right? They talk about the importance of the Muskogean stock, formerly occupying Middle and South Mississippi, the territory extending in the most flourishing days for most distances east of the Tombigbee River. Now, the Tombigbee River, I'm going to break that down. I'm going to break that down when I get to the part of the book that shows the real words. A lot of these words are corrupted. And they talk about the real word where Tombigbee come from. And I'm going to get into all that, right? Roll the corn. So it said Choctaw branch, Muskogean family include the Choctaw, Chickasaw, and Huma. Huma and their allies. Now, Huma, I taught y'all Huma is the brown tribe, the brown people. Huma in Hebrew means brown. You get it? So our people were using Hebrew terms to describe our people. Huma means brown. That turned into Homer, like Oklahoma, over time, right? So you see Huma, that is automatically Hebrew of brown people. Roll the corn. Now this is like an old painting, but it ain't no real good painting, but it's talking about Tuscaloosa, right? A Choctaw chieftain in Alabama. Let's keep going. Now, this is a variation of tribes, different parts of a Choctaw tribe, right? Kush, Kushiksha, is Kushiksa. Kushiksa. Now, let me stop right there. Now, Kushiksa, what do y'all hear that's very, very popular in our history, in that word? Kushiksa. What's the word? Let me get out the way. Kushiksa. Kush. Bars black. You're exactly right. Kush. Now, why are Choctaws naming a part of a line of the tribe Kushiksa? Now, as you can see, right, reeds, people, reeds. Let me flip that. Let me get out the way. Reeds, you see it? Number one, Kush got something to do with reeds. Now, let me explain something to y'all. In Choctaw, Kushiksa is reeds. Now, let's go to the Egyptian. Let's go to the Egyptian. Egyptians said their ancestors are in the field of reeds. People. See how it all go together? The first Egyptians said their ancestors come from the field of reeds. Kush. So Kush means reed. You got a Kush in Egypt on the Nile River. And the Kushites and Egyptians said their ancestors are buried in a field of reeds. Fire. Let me get out the way. Now, I want y'all to remember that. Here you go right here. Yes, the ancient kingdom of Kush is closely associated with reeds and papyrus, which were abundant along the Nile because our people planted reeds on the Nile. You get it? This is beautiful knowledge now. This is beautiful knowledge now. Roll the corn. Bold, what up? Bold Blends, what up? So, as you can see, Kush, different bloodlines from the Choctaw. Kush Iksa is reed. The Egyptians said their ancestors come from the, when you die, you're going back to the ancestors, to the field of reeds. And Kush is reeds on the Nile River. Same meaning. Roll the corn. Same meaning, people. So when they try to tell you that these different cultures and people don't have a connection, they a damn lie, because they saying the same words. Same bloodline, just different ancient times around the world. Let's keep going. Let's look at some more of them words. Let's look at some more. Roll the corn. Now, let's look at number 4. I'm tripping. Number 3. Lula. Lula Kiksa. Lula. Everybody got grandmas and aunties used to be named Lula. Roll the corn. Here we go, right here. Lula is likely a misspelling of the phonetic spelling of the Hebrew word lulav. Lulav, which refers to a close frond of date palm. Right over there. Right? Lulav. Roll the corn, a palm tree, a myrtle, a willow branch. Lulav in Hebrew is really lula, right? That's what they putting on. They're just changing the words now. They're just changing the words. Let's keep looking. Now we got number 4, Leno Clusha. Let's go look at Leno. Leno is Lenoy. Leno comes from Lenoy, Hebrew, which means my beauty, joy to me, lead to me, noi beauty, my beauty, joy to me. You get it? So Leno is my beauty, right? Let's go back. Leno, number 4. My beauty, some type of beauty. Leno, Klusha. Roll the corn. Now, Klusha comes from Kluska, which means slightly cheeky, thick-set, rotund person. Rotund person, like a well-built person. Like a well-built, beautiful person. You all know we got agriculture, we well-built. So, my beauty, rotund person, thick-set. These are our people. Leno Kluska. Let's go back. Number 4. Leno Klush. That Klusha comes from this right here. The idiom, right? Thick-set, rotund person. Beautiful. That's fire. Let's keep going. Now, roll the corn. We got Chateau, Chufanixa, Iskolani, Choctaw, the crawfish people. Now, y'all done heard the crawfish people a couple of times because our people are brown and red like the crawfish. And I've heard that this word, Choctaw, a lot of times in Louisiana and South Mississippi. The crawfish people. Our people still eat these crawfish today. Down in Louisiana. Let's keep going. Now, the divide, it says, is different parts of the Choctaw, right? 4 generations, four genets. The second is called beloved people, and also contains 4 gentes, the beloved people, united into 2 phrases, which must be mentioned first in order to show the relation of the gentes to each other. The second is called beloved people. Let's keep going. Then it said the Chickasaws are organized into 2, right, of which one contains 4, right? The panther phratry, wildcat, bird, fish, deer. Then the Spanish give another one the name of a Spanish phratry. Then you get the other one, number 5, raccoon, right? The Spanish call one part the Spanish. 7 is royal, Hushkoni, squirrel, alligator, wolf clan, and blackbird clan. Okay. Let's go here. Now, this talks about the 3 original gentes, the wolf, the turtle, and the turkey. These are 3 different animal clans that come from, I think that one is Choctaw, the turkey, right? So I want y'all to get these receipts, and we got to study this stuff a certain type of way. Now, this is the book that gets very deep right here. This is the book that get very deep, right? This book got a whole bunch of gems in it. Choctaw, Chickasaw, and Natchez Indians. Choctaw, Chickasaw, Natchez Indians. The history of Choctaw, Chickasaw, Natchez Indians. Let's look into this book. It's a lot of receipts in this book. A lot of receipts. Everything I told y'all about some stuff is go right in this book. I'm going to show you. Let's get into it. So y'all research this book. Now it says, this is the guy who wrote the book, right? Devoted their lives to the moral and intellectual improvement of spiritual interests of the peculiar and interesting race of mankind, living and dying the sincere and abiding friends, red man of the North American continent. Let's keep going. To the Choctaw and Chickasaw people, each the new fable remnant of once numerous, independent, contented, and happy people, whose long line of ancestry dates back to the prehistoric ages of the remote past. The ancestry of our people date back to the prehistoric ages of the remote past. It is described in loving remembrance of the warrior, the writer's earlier and most faithful friends. Let's keep going. Now, the ancient tradition history of the Choctaws and Chickasaws. The former signifying separation and latter rebellion. Right? So in this, it talks about the Choctaw and Chickasaw descended from a people. They say they're descended from a people from Mexico. Right? Mexico. They call one of them the Chickamaugas and the Choctaw Mals, right? Now, I researched these tribes. Here we go. Now, one of them is hold on, let me find that receipt. Now, I said the Chickasaw, the tradition known as Muskogean-speaking tribe, they sometimes refer to themselves as having to come from the west or south, which some scholars interpret as a journey from Mexican region, though it is debated amongst archaeologists, right? So they're trying to say the Chickasaw had a story about coming from the west or the south, right? But you can't really put a final location on that, because if you say you're coming from the south, you might be in Tennessee, coming from Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? You never know. So they try to link these tribes back to Mexico, which there is a link to Mexico, but I don't think that these tribes originated in Mexico. I think they originated in the Mississippi Valley. Some went to Mexico, some stayed, some went back and forth. That's what I really think, right? Now, that's the migration story of the Chickasaw. Now, it talks about Chickasaws and Choctaws, right? Let's go look that up. Now, I said the Choctaw people existed. Paleo Indians, 18,000 BC, people. 18,000 BC on the land. Ain't nobody older than that, people. And it goes back farther than that, but ain't nobody older than that. Right? Now, this is very important to me right here. This right here. Stickball was an integral ancient part of their culture, used for training and resolving disputes. My great-grandmother loved baseball. She loved baseball, y'all. She loved baseball. She could watch baseball all day on the TV. This come from their ancient culture. She loved the mound and pitching and playing baseball. My daughter, right now today, loves baseball. My great-grandmother was 70, 80 years old watching baseball all day. She loved it. Now, that come from her DNA. Ancient stickball, baseball playing people. Y'all grandmama probably watched that baseball too. This come from a place of where our ancestors done these things. That's why I pull this receipt out, because it's very powerful to me personally, because my great-grandmother could watch back-to-back baseball games. Roll the call. So let's get back here. That's crazy. Now, watch this now. Now, it says the Chichimecads, right? Chichimecads. This the area in Mexico. So, let's go back to the other receipt. These are the Indians they talking about that's linked to the Choctaws, right? Right here. Right here. Right there. Chickamaugas. It's the same thing as these Indians right here. That's in Mexico. Now, let me show y'all something. Who lived in Veracruz, people? That's famous in history. This is the same area of the Atlantean statues, people. The same area of the Atlantean statues. Now, who lived in Veracruz? Put it in the Olmecs. South Florida, A+. A+. The Olmecs are the same bloodline as the Choctaws, people. Because they're saying this tribe down there in Mexico is linked to the Choctaw and Chickasaw, and Olmec right there. The Totonac Indians right there. The Indians who lived at the pyramids in this area right there. Bloodline connects back to the Choctaw and the Chickasaw. Facts. So Veracruz is where the Olmecs are. Same bloodline of people. Roll in the corn. Facts. Let's keep going. Now, Now they say the Choctaw and Chickasaw descended from people, the Chickamaugas. Well, I think it's just two different tribes, but they the same people. One live in Mexico, one live in, I think they didn't descend from. I think everything descended from the Mississippi Valley because that's the oldest archaeological sites I can find, right? It's way older than the pyramids. Now, it said their tradition in regard to the origins related about aged Choctaws in the missionaries of 1820. Now, this is going to talk about some type of migration. Let's keep going. Now, the Great Spirit, right? They talk about the Great Spirit in this receipt in the evening before the departure of Fabussa, a pole, a pro, Fabussa, right? Fabussa. You see that? Fabussa pole firmly set up in the ground at the center point of their encampment. Now this separates the tribes. This is a pole or a stick that separates the tribes. Watch this. Right? Iti Fabussa is a Choctaw phrase. Pole, long, slender piece of wood. Sacred pole in tradition, oral history that guided the Choctaw to their new homeland, or separates homelands from a Choctaw tribe from a Chickasaw tribe. You put a pole or a red stick. That's where you get the Red Stick Creek Indians from, right? Y'all ever heard red stick, sacred stick? You put the stick in the ground, it separates ancestral land from different tribes in the southeast, right? Sticks used to locate their territory. Let's go back. Fabussa. See it? The Great Spirit had revealed that Fabussa would indicate on the following morning the direction they should march by its leaning, as the star led the Magi to where the world's infant Redeemer and Savior sweetly reposed. So the leaning of the pole on each returning morning, which indicated the direction they must travel day by day till they reach and sought the desired haven. Let's keep going. Now this one it get kind of deep right here. Now this is a new word for the Mississippi River that's very deep, people. This book got a different word for the Mississippi River, and it's deep, right? Now it says, there is surely the great Father, the true source of all waters, whose age is wrapped in the silence of the unknown past, ages beyond all calculation. And as they named it Misha Sopokni. Misha Sopokni, beyond age, whose source and terminus are unknown. That's why people are named Misha. That's why women are named Misha in America. Kamisha, Tamisha, Misha, Misha Sopokni. Now watch this. Surely a more appropriate, beautiful, and romantic name than its usurper, Mississippi, without any signification, right? But who can tell when the waters of the Misha Sopokni first found their way from little Itasca Lake hidden in its northern home to the faraway gulf of tropics of the south? Who, when those ancient Choctaws stood upon its banks and listened to the murmuring, which alone disturbed the silence of the vast wilderness that stretched away on every side, could tell of its origin, and over that mighty distances it rode in muddy waters to the ultimate destiny. So, Misha Sapokney, Tosca is in Minnesota. That's the start of the Mississippi River. That's where a huge snake mound sits by the Atashka area. That's where the noon come from, right? Now, Misha Sapokney, let's look that up. Sapokney, Choctaw word, they say old or aged. Sapokney, Mississippi River, is a part of the phrase Misha Sapokney, translated to beyond age. Mississippi River's deep age. That's fire. Let's keep going. Now, Sapok is where you get Sapokney from, right? Sapek, Sapok, Hebrew, which is a noun from satisfaction or fulfillment. Now, it's versatile. Doubt, Safek, striking or clapping, Safek, satisfaction or contentment. So Sapokney come from a Hebrew word. The Mississippi River is really named a fucking Hebrew word, people. Misha Sapokney. Let's go back. I want y'all to remember that. We got to study that some more. I got to find some more books on that. Right? You see it? Misha Sapokney. Fire. Then you get Sapokney, old age. Then you get Sapok, which the Hebrew term. Now let's break that down a little more. Sapek, he supplied, he satisfied. Safek is doubt. Sapuk means satisfaction. So, Sapek means unknown. I'm tripping. Hold on. It is closely associated with a pair of Hebrew words that are often confused. Connection is not immediately obvious, often leaving learners in a state of doubt. But Sapek and Sapok kind of means unknown, people. Now, what does it say about Misha Sapokney, whose source and terminus are unknown? Like, it's so ancient, they don't know where it started at. Like, the creation of it is unknown. It's kind of like it's ancient, right? Roll the corn. So now we must dive into this word Misha Sapokney and find some more definitions for Sapokney. I got to get some more books about that. Because the Mississippi River is going to tell you the whole truth about these words. Because you can see these words are stemmed in Hebrew. Sapokney is coming from this word for sure. Sapok. It's coming from that. Facts. Ain't no other way around it. This ain't nobody's language but ours. Paleo-Hebrew. Let's keep going. Roll the corn. Misha Sapokney, to be the terminus of their toils. Roll the corn. Let's keep looking. Now, onward beyond Misha Sapokney is accepted without a murmur. Right? Let's drop down to right here. Until they stood upon the western banks of the Yazoo City River and once more encamped for the night, and had been done for many months before, evening began to unfold. Her curtains in twilight had spread over all her mystic light. The Fabusa, now truly their Delphian oracle, was set up. So they passed the Mississippi River, they got to the Yazoo Valley, and they put the Fabusa, the stick of separating ancestral ground in the Yazoo Valley, coming from the Mississippi Riverway. That's what sets up your ancestral land, right? See, before a government was set up, them two sticks, by the Mississippi River all the way to the Yazoo, already land we already was promised. You get it? Promised in nature, promised through ancestral bloodlines. A government can only lie to you about that. Paperwork ain't gonna do nothing. Whoever set them sticks up owns the land forever. It's just that simple. It trumps any government. I ain't got to go to the government with no paperwork. All I got to do is prove my people from their land, and it goes right into the laws of the laws of before a government was set up. That's a fact. Let's keep going. Roll the corn. Now, this one is very important too. Drop down to the middle. After its completion, right? Now, let's go back up. Let's go back up. Let me hop in the screen. Let's go back up. Right here. Right here. Roll the corn. Right, we'll start right here. Then, right there. Now, then, as commemorative of the great event in their national history, they threw up a large mound embracing 3 acres of land and rising 40 feet in a conical form, with a deep hole about 10 feet in diameter, excavating on the top, and all enclosed by a ditch encompassing nearly 20 acres. After its completion, it was discovered not to be erect, but a little leaning, and they named it Nunih. Nunih Waiyah, leaning. Now, Choctaw is one of the first names for this mound. But I want y'all to understand what is, they try to tell you it's Nunih Waiyah today. Now let me show y'all something. They try to tell you it's Nunih Waiyah today. But look at that. Nunih. Now, what do y'all hear in there? I keep teaching y'all about. What word do you hear in that in Nunih that I be teaching y'all about? What is it? Put it in the chat. Noon. There you go. When you see noon anywhere, these are the serpent people, the snake people. That's the same thing as Natchez. That's the same thing as Nahas. When you see noon, that is a bloodline of a certain people. That's why Noon became a god in Egypt. Facts. A creator god. Roll the corn. So Nunih, mountain, mound, Waiyah, leaning, they say. So Nunih, based in Noon, the snake people, the people they deemed evil over time, and they took our information and turned it into a religion. Facts. Let's keep going. The Hebrew letter Nun, pictograph of a snake, likely representing the Semitic word Nahas, Natchez. All that go together. Before evolving into the letter Nun for fish. Hold on now. Whoa. Starts off with a snake, it evolves to Nun, the fish. Where is the fish? Where is the fish god? Put it in the chat. Who the fish god is? Dagon. You get it? Do you get it? You get it? All that shit come from your culture. Let me get out of the way. Y'all want to see my ugly face. You want to see the receipts. Roll the coin. Listen. It starts with a snake before evolving into Nun, the fish. Right? Now, when you go to Samaria, they talking about the fish god. Bring in the corn. Who is the gods? We are. Where the knowledge come from? Here. Ain't no way around it. These are Semitic alphabets. Tamari created Semitic alphabets. Ain't no way around it. You see it into the Phoenician and Hebrew. Them our damn people. Called curvative in early writings. This our shit. Quit trying to give it to Jerusalem. We put that shit over there. Quit trying to give it to the Moors. Stop trying to give it to Arabs and goddamn Roman Catholics. Quit trying to give it away. This where it come from. Now, the Pope is wearing a Dagon hat from the people who bought them knowledge long time ago and bought them virtue. And they took the teachings of those people and turned it into Roman Catholic shit. You get it? Roll the coin. Do you get it? After we go across the water, now it is Nun, the fish god. The Phoenicians, they try to tell you that snake ain't Hebrew. They a damn lie. Nun is Hebrew, big dog. Serpent. That serpent is not evil. So all y'all teaching all the white man's knowledge, scared of every goddamn thing, he lied to you. Them your real damn ancestors. Why you think the Egyptian wearing the damn snake on their forehead? Roll the coin. This shit here kind of dope. Let's get back to the receipt, man. Hold on. Well, this shit is crazy. Now you understand it, right? Hold on, they fucking with me. Roll the coin. Now, let's go back. Now the receipts won't come up. Come on, TikTok. Now the receipts won't come up. Come on, TikTok. Let's see, can we get the receipts back? See, hold on. Roll the coin. Put the coin in the chat. TikTok be tripping. Hold on. Let me get it together. Tripping. Hold on. Let me get it together. I'm trying to refresh it. But anyway, I'll do it another time. But I'll finish this another time. But anyway, what I want to show y'all is I was finna get to the part where they had the Tula receipt, right? Now the Tula receipt, like I told y'all, Tula is Tola, which comes from the tribe of Issachar. It's trying to load up. Hold on. Let me see if it's going to jump. Because I really want to show y'all the Tula receipt that go along with everything else. Put the coin in the chat. Put the coin in the chat. Stick with me. There we go. Okay. Now let's go find this Tula receipt. Let me get out the way. Now, roll the coin. Where we was at? Noon. Okay. Now this talks about tribal. You hear me? Put the coin in the chat. Now this talks about the Choctaw going one way, and the Chickasaw going east, and the Choctaw going west to Louisiana, Mississippi River, and the Chickasaw taking land like in Tennessee and Alabama, right? Let's keep going. That's what this was about. The ancient traditions of the Cherokees, as well as ancient traditions of Muskogee Creeks and the Natchez, also point back to Mexico as a country from which they, in a period long past. All these cultures or bloodlines still linking to the pyramid builders of Mexico. See that? Roll the coin. Now I want to show y'all Tula if I can find it. Now this says, the Choctaw were first made known to the European world by the journalists of that memorable adventure Hernando de Soto, who invaded the territory October 1540 and introduced the civilized so-called race of mankind to the Choctaws in the following manner. A mainly young Indian of splendid proportions, at which a face extremely attractive and interesting. De Soto said Tuscaloosa's son was a young Indian, splendid proportions, with a face extremely attractive and interesting. Let's keep going. He was the son of Tuscaloosa, a corruption of a Choctaw word, Tuscaloosa, warrior, black. Tusca is warrior. Lusa is black. Fire. Now, watch this. Now, this talks about Tombigbee, white man. Tombigbee, like the Tombigbee River, is a corruption of Choctaw words, a Tombigbee. So they changed a Tombigbee to Tombigbee. It's crazy. Now, look what it said it mean. All right? Corruption of a Tombigbee. Name given to the white man. So now on, I'm finna start calling their ass a Tombigbee. Right there. Get your Tombigbee ass out of the... Roll the coin. A Tombigbee. They changed it to Tombigbee. Everybody in the Southeast know about the Tombigbee River. Or a Tombigbee. Roll the coin. There ain't no damn Tombigbee. Y'all try to change the name to Tombigbee. You a damn a Tombigbee. You hunt together. Roll the coin. A Tombigbee. Ickbee, name given to the white man. You is half a Tombigbee. Roll the coin, trying to teach some shit. You're half a Tombigbee. Get your ass off the land. Roll the coin. Make boxes in which place the bones of the dead. What? Now, this is when the Tombigbee started giving our people wooden boxes to bury. Wooden boxes. They came with the wooden boxes. The burial. They would come with a cheap ass wood box to bury their people. They start giving them to us so we can use them for burials, right? Hunter-gatherer shit. Let's keep going. Roll the coin. Now the young warrior bore an invitation from his father to De Soto to visit him at his capital, right? He was a man of powerful stature, muscular limbs, admirable proportions, right? Muscular limbs, yet handsome. When De Soto arrived to Tuscaloosa, the black warrior arose and advanced to meet him with a proud and haughty air and said, "Great chief, I receive you as a brother and welcome you to my country. I am ready to comply with your request." That's what they say he said now. Now this could be cap. This could be cap. Now, you know how the white man, you know how a Tombigbee do. A Tombigbee want everything to sound all like everybody was praising his ass. Great chief. All that old shit. Welcome you to my country and all this old African shit. But we probably ain't even say it. We probably said, look at Tommy, get your ass. Why the fuck is you? Why is you over here? But anyway, we gonna go with the book. Some of this shit be whitewashed. You gotta peep the play. They want everything to sound all goddamn regular and shit. Like it was just y'all killing my people, but I'm talking about you a great chief and all that. Nah. Let's keep going. Roll the corn. Now, the Soto took up his line of march to Mobila, the capital of the mighty chief. Mobila is Mobile, Alabama, people. Mobila is a corruption of two Choctaw words. Bina, a lodge, literally a lodge or encampment. So these words, these cities are named after or words we created. These people ain't created shit. They just changed the vernacular of the word. They don't create nothing. They didn't name Mobile. They ain't named Tuscaloosa. They ain't named goddamn none of this stuff. Only thing they got names after is presidents or war chiefs. After that, all the rest of this stuff is ours. Right? Like Jackson, Mississippi named after Andrew Jackson. We know that. But they ain't named nothing. All this Mobile and Tuscaloosa and Oklahoma and they ain't named none of this shit. Don't let them people tell you that. Now let's keep going. Now it talks about one of the Spanish warriors kills one of the Choctaws in front of everybody. Right? Cut him with a sword and unalived him in front of everybody. Then the war jumped off. Right? Here we go right here. Among the multitude of now highly excited warriors, just then a warrior rushed out of a house, denouncing the Spaniards as robbers and murderers, and declared that they should no longer impose on their chief Tuscaloosa by holding him as a prisoner. His words, Baltersurdi Galargus, that he cut the warrior in twain with one swipe of the broad sword. At the sight of their slain warrior, the Choctaws, with their defiant war whoop, at once rushed upon the Soto and his men. The Soto placing himself at the head of his men, fighting and retreating. Now, as you can see, these people unalive one of the Choctaws in front of everybody, and it jumped the whole fight off, right? Now you see how these people just cut a man down, and they trying to capture the chief, Tuscaloosa. And so the Choctaws got Tuscaloosa out of the chains for that moment right there, right? That's what it says. Let me get out the way. Let's keep going. Then I got some more receipts on this. The Choctaws at once knocked the chains from the hands and feet of the Indian prisoner whom the Soto had brought with him, giving them weapons, bade them help destroy the parasitic strangers. The first rush of Choctaws killed 5 of the Spaniards who had been left outside of the walls and were loudly exulting over seemingly good fortune in dense masses before the gate. Right? De Soto and his cavalry, closely followed by the infantry, made a fearful charge upon the disordered mass of Choctaws who were still outside the enclosure, and with a terrible slaughter drove them back into the town. Immediately, the Choctaws rushed to the portholes and towers and hurled clouds of arrows and spears upon the Spaniards, and again drove them from the walls. Crazy, right? Crazy work. Our people fought war on these lands, people. Above the mighty din was heard the voice of Tuscaloosa, encouraging his warriors. His tomahawk, wielded by his muscular arm, ascended and descended in rapid strokes like a meteor across the starry sky. But could the feeble bow and arrow and the tomahawks avail against the huge lance and broad sword of the Spaniard, right? With the unprotected body of the Choctaw warrior against the steel-clad body of the Spanish soldier. So they had that steel on, and we was, we didn't have no armor, and we were fighting them, but they had on armor, so there was a little bit of an advantage. Now, I like to teach this story because people be asking, like, how did these people get taken over? How did this happen? These people got cannons, people, firearms, swords made of steel, right? At the time. They got on body armor. So arrows are bouncing off body armor. And it's harder to, hurt somebody while they got on a body full of armor. If you shoot an arrow with spears and daggers, right? So it gave them a small advantage, right? I just want to show people that. Choctaw were forced to make a permanent retreat within the enclosure of the town, closing the gates after them, right? At the same time, the Spaniards made a desperate charge against the gates and walls. While the cavalry remained on the outside to cut to pieces all who might attempt to escape after they went into the town. Then began a carnage too awful to relate. The Choctaws fought in the street, right? In the square, from the housetop and walls, and though the ground was covered with their dead and dying relatives and friends, still not living one entreated for quarter. So as these people attacked the town, they was catching people trying to leave out, and they was unalive and them coming out the town. This is the Tuscaloosa War, right? Crazy. They assert that 11,000 were slain, people, at this certain area in time. There was a Mobila was in ruins and her people slain. For 9 long hours had the battle raged. 82 Spaniards were killed and 45 horses. The poor Choctaws who participated in the fight were nearly all slain. We need to hear this, right? People don't talk about this. Everybody want to talk about do your genealogy and all, but what happened to my people, bro? Look at this government receipt. What happened to my damn people, bro? Like, teach what happened. Let people put in their mind what these people done to us. What these people cutting people arms off and just hitting people with swords out of nowhere, unaliving thousands of our people on the land. See, this is the history that fires us up to get back to what we need to get on. Fuck all that. Let's go take some Moorish paperwork and now. What happened to my people, bro? You forgot about this. People are teaching, but they forgot about this. You must remind your people what happened. Roll the corn. I want y'all to know exactly what happened. Roll the corn. This monster and his fiendish crew took their departure from the smoldering ruins of Mobila and its brave but murdered inhabitants, and the poor Mobila girls at whose misfortunes humanity weeps, resumed their westward march. These people kidnapped our women and took them with them. See it? The poor Mobila girls. See that? Females of great beauty were captured. Females of great beauty were captured. Right there. And added to taken to close of the battles. You see it? Screenshot that. They sure wasn't talking about no hunter-gatherers with no great beauty. This the true story. Now watch this. Yet proving themselves possessed to many virtues that adorn man, together with a spirit of a true and noble patriotism. They're going to talk about the Indians and virtue, right? Ancient Choctaws, there can be no doubt whatsoever. They talk about the Chickasaw Mobilians. They also state the Choctaws. Mobilians spoke the same language. Long and tall men. Hatak Falahs. Mobilians spoke the same language. Mobila Iksa, clan of Choctaw by Benville at the time he laid his foundation. Mama Bana, Mobina. Mama Bana, Mobina, from which Mobile is derived, people. Mama Bana, Mobina, fire. Fire, which Mobile is derived. Pafalia, or pure Choctaw word. According to ancient traditions of the Choctaws, which the aged Choctaws now living still affirm, their people in the days of loss divided into two great Ixas. The Hatak. Stuff deep, man. Stuff deep. Choctaw shroud their history in the oblivion of the past, right? But they, with other southern tribes, were a numerous and also an agricultural people. Like I said, as far back as the 15th century, there is no doubt. Through agricultural to small extent of comparison with the whites, yet to a sufficient degree to satisfy the demands of any people who avarice was an entire stranger and who adhered to the maxim sufficient unto the days of the evil thereof. When the Soto passed through Georgia, his route was lined with towns, villages, and hamlets, and sown fields, which reached from one to the other. The numerous log pens were full of corn, people, while acres of which were growing bend under the warm rays and sun rustled in the breeze. On the 18th of September, 1540, the Soto reached the town of Tallahassee, a corruption of the Choctaw word Tula. There you go. There you go. Tallahassee, a corruption of the Choctaw word Tula. Now, I taught y'all about Tula. Yes, I did. Didn't I teach y'all Tula comes from the word Tola? Tola is the son of Issachar of the 12 tribes, one of the 12 tribes. That's why we are still using the word Tula all the way up to the 1540s. That's where Tallahassee come from. That's where Tally come from. That's where Tulsa come from. That's where Toltec come from. Toltec mound builders come from Tola, Tolites. Right? So, Tula in Mexico are called the Atlanteans. That's a fact. Tula pyramids, Toltec pyramids in Mexico are called Tula, Mexico. Same word that Choctaw was using. Tula, Mexico got pyramids. That's a fact. Same fucking bloodline. Yes, Choctaws are connected with the Mayans, the Olmecs. Facts. They saying the same word. Tula look up Tula, Mexico, and look up the Atlanteans. Atlantean Tula statues, Atlantean pyramids, Tula. The mounds in Arkansas, the Plume Bayou mounds was once called the Tula mounds. The Tula Cave in Arkansas is called the Spanish Treasure Cave right now today. They took gold out of there from Tula. Yo people. Go look it up. Roll the coin. Go look it up. The place of rocks is the same bloodline. Now let's go back. You see Choctaw saying Tula now. Look right here. What's it right there? Olmecs, Tula right there. Let me get a receipt. Let me get a receipt. Put the coin in the chat. Tula right there. Let me get a receipt. Let me get a receipt. Put the coin in the chat. Coin in the chat. Put the coin in the chat. Put the coin in the chat. Put that coin. Yeah, we back to the truth now. The coin is rolling. Yeah, who the damn Atlantean is? Who is the Atlantean? Tula. Tula. Zicocatitlan is a major archaeological site in Hidalgo, Mexico. Best known as the capital of Toltec Empire. The Atlantis of Tula. Who is your people? 4-meter tall basalt sculptures believed to be supported the roof of the temple of the pyramid. The Atlantean Tula. Toltec comes from Tola, the son of Issachar. Let me get that receipt. For everybody think I just be on here talking shit. Let me. And there you go. And there you go, right there. Tola is Tula. The word Toltec comes from Tola. This is the bloodline of the tribe of Issachar. Facts. The pyramid builder, Paleo-Hebrew pyramid builders. And there you have it. You get it? Now, one more receipt. The end of receipts. One more. Now, one more receipt. The end of receipts. One more. Receipts. One more. Hold on. Put the coin in the chat. 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 Tola is directly associated with and derived from the word Tula. Why are the Choctaw saying Tula? Because they come from the 12 tribes. These are our fucking ancestors. Y'all can stop playing, but we know the truth now, and go play on them other dummies page, because I don't come to play. They can teach bullshit all they want. I'm going to show you how great your ancestors are. Y'all can teach more shit all you want. I'm still going to be saying Tula and motherfucking... I'm sorry for cussing. I'm still going to be saying Tula, because This our bloodline of an ancient culture they're talking about in the Bible. Let's go back and look at that receipt again. Let's go look at that again. Roll the coin. We know the truth now. Roll the coin. Tallahassee, a corruption of the Choctaw word Tula. Tula is rock. Tula is rock, right? Tula is rock. Let's go see if some type of rock got something to do with Tola and Tula. Yes, it does. Because Tola lived in a stone city. Go look it up. Now they try to say, these people, the grandson of Dodo was a significant figure in the tribe of Issachar. Lineage and tribe. He's identified as a man of Issachar. He is listed as the firstborn son of Issachar, accompanying Jacob into Egypt. Now, if Tola is on the land, Joseph must be on the land too. This shit ain't making no sense. But I'm gonna put it all together. Just stick with me. Let's go here. Now they say Piachu, the town of Piachu, rich fields, heavy ears of corn. You see it? Well stored corn, beans, pumpkins, and other provisions. The 6 southern tribes, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Cherokee, Muskogee, Seminoles, and Natchez possess 2 grand countries not to attract the eyes of the fortune hunters of Europe and excite their cupidity to the highest degree. The French in Louisiana, the Spanish in Florida, and the English in Virginia and the Carolinas early sought to establish footholds in the territories of these warlike and independent tribes. Independent tribes, self-sufficient with nature, people. Right? Now I'm going to end this off with this. That the Southern Indian was friendly to the foreign intruders and disposed to live in peace with them. Excuse me. And were not such a bloodthirsty people as they have been represented. It's clearly demonstrated by the fact that in 1810 there was such a scarcity of provisions that Benville had to scatter his men amongst the Indians in order to obtain food for them, and so informed his government, a plan to which he had been driven before, and had not that the Indians preferred peace to war with the whites, they surely would have embraced such favorable opportunities to destroy them, to destroy the unwelcome invader of their country. We know the truth now. When them people started starving after they had unalived some of our tribes, they came back and we still fed them. The jewels of God, the jewels of nature, beautiful people. Wasn't even holding no grudges. Y'all done unalive all these tribes and y'all went to starving, and we still let y'all come live amongst us and fed y'all. You dirty hunter-gatherers. I be wanting to show y'all people this story, bro. I had to show y'all this story today because this is powerful information. Just like I taught y'all about Tula, Nuna, the mound, the creation mound of the Choctaw, which is Nuna Ishki, Noon, N-U-N. Same teaching as these words going through Phoenicians, Hebrews, all this stuff. It's agriculture language of our people. And I wanted to show y'all these different type of names and who these people are connected to in Mexico, who built pyramids in this area, right? And these people built pyramids. Facts. Pyramids. And they call them the Atlantean. So the bloodline of the Mississippi River spread it out across America, down to South America, I believe. And then it started to travel across the world as the knowledge got greater. And they became the Atlantean, or the Paleo-Hebrew people who came to these different places and built these towns up. But one thing for sure, two things for certain. This is our culture because we are agriculture. Nobody else in the world was an agriculture but us. So our teachings were different. We wasn't hungry. We wasn't starving. We wasn't barbarians. We were living in peace together in harmony with nature. Other people were killing each other for food. All the way in the 1500s, YT people still was scarce on food because they didn't know how to grow it. Imagine what went on in ancient times. Super hungry, right? There go your history, man. I love y'all and I'm in love with you. I appreciate the cash app. If y'all want to catch the first part of this live, subscribe to my YouTube, bro. And I'm gonna keep and I'm going through this week, like I said, I'm going through I'm gonna go through all these tribes, and then I'm gonna start going into like the big knowledge of after we learn nature, what we were able to do with copper and electricity and limestone and granite, and how to heal yourself with stones. And I'm gonna get into all of that. First, you must learn nature, then you learn the elevated knowledge of nature. That's when you get free energy and magnetic pull of things that can, that real, they call it space age shit, but it's really Tamari, ancient culture, who had got this smart over time. And I'm going to show y'all some of this stuff too. So I'm going to go through the tribes. Choctaw today, I'm going to try to do Chickasaw, Cherokee. Then we're going to get into like the Seminoles and all that type of stuff, try to break it down in these old books. Then I'm going to get into the knowledge of the higher knowledge, the electricity, the buildings, the cathode and things that light these ancient buildings up. Because our people had figured out that you could pull electric current from the atmosphere, and it'll light buildings up like with protons. So then we're gonna get into that. Appreciate all the support, man. Love y'all. I'm in love with you. I'm kind of on the run today. I still got to do a live though. I can't. I got to put the live out. I got to hit the highway, but if y'all miss some of them receipts, go back to my YouTube, subscribe. Excel, what's up, my brother? And I love y'all and I'm in love with you, man. This shit make me feel a certain type of way when I speak about it, but I got to let y'all know how this stuff went down. And there's some more stories about Indians in Louisiana and Carolina and Georgia. That's the same story happened to them. And I'm going to go through all these stories and kind of let y'all know the real story. The Yamasee story, all of that. Be safe. Be safe. I love y'all. We know the truth now. Galil at the gun, roll the corn. Y'all be safe today, man.